everyone, and welcome to the Cardinal Sports Complex for CTN's live coverage of boys high school soccer. Tonight it's the Northwest Suburban Conference opener as the Cardinals host the defending champion Anoka Tornadoes. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro up in the booth for tonight's action. And Howie, the Tornadoes had a great season last year, off to a great start. They're 3-0, haven't given up a goal in their last two games, and now trying to make it 4-0 here against Cardinals.
It's a big, tough test for Coon Rapids. They're 1-2. They come into this off of back-to-back shutouts. They're in a situation where they really need to put some things together. The rankings are coming out this week. Anoka should be either number 8 or number 9 in the state. This is a huge test for Coon Rapids. They need to score early. Well,
let's take a look at the starters. As you mentioned, they are definitely up against a big opponent in the Anoka Tornadoes. They are 3-0, have not given up a goal in their last two games. They have only given up one goal over the last three games. Take a look at the starters for tonight. For Anoka, Connor Iverson starting in net. His defenders are Stuart Heltums, Travis Meshuga, and Brandon Treadle. The midfielders, Jake McElmurray, Cody Panuski, Donovan Gross, John Oliverson, and Gary Quinones. The forwards are Mitch Doral and Roland Oyu. For the Cardinals, Ryan Volker is the starting keeper. His defenders are Trevor Talix and Peter Shaber, Curtis Wells and Jesse Gavick, Alex Cruckton, Orlando Rodriguez, Jason Lilja, and Eric Clemente are the midfielders. And up front, it's Gamina Pagor and VJ Hakaba.
There you see head coach Jason Jacobson's 11th season. We were out on the field. The grass is in a little bit better shape than that game that we did last week versus Eastview. The game was very long and shaggy grass. So I guess Jeff DeJoya was out on the lawnmower on Saturday on the riding mower and was cutting the grass, and that is a true story.
Of course, the weather a little bit nicer. Remember, the boys played the nightcap on Tuesday of last week against Eastview, and some mist, a little bit of rain, definitely a damp field to play on. And today just absolutely gorgeous out. Warm, but not too hot, not too breezy, not too humid. But a bright sun staring into the Cardinals' face for this first half.
As one of the three bears said, it's just right. And it is nice. It's beautiful here. We've kind of got rid of that humidity that we had at the football game last Thursday night in that soup. But it is definitely in the low 70s, I think 71 right now, and it's going to be a pleasant evening.
Well, and you mentioned a big key for Coon Rapids is to get off to a quick start. Not going to be easy against the very stingy defense of the Anoka Tornadoes. As I mentioned, just one goal through 3 contests and have not given up a goal against in the previous 2 games. And Coon Rapids, as you mentioned, having a tough time finding that offense. They had one goal in the win, the 1-0 win over Park in the season opener, but have been shut out in each of their last 2 games.
They have, and they just really, of course, they're making some adjustments in the lineup today. They're putting another player that was playing defense, putting him up a little bit this game. Curtis Wells is getting the start as well, so they're trying to shake things up for this boys soccer team.
Cobbett challenging Heltemus on the left side. Heltemus gives it up. Tornadoes had it taken away by Cruckton. He hands off there for Clemente, trying to work it into the Anoka end. Pass a little too far for Hakaba, booted back toward midfield. Oyu slows it down, plays it back for Donovan Gross. He'll play it up the left wing. Out in front of Wells and out of bounds, and a Cardinal throw it.
The Cardinals, Joe, have had a few days off. They really haven't played in a little bit, so this is kind of getting a test of what their team is coming off that loss that we saw last week at against Eastview.
And notice how small the number is on the front of the Anoka jersey. You know what a fan I am of that.
Well, maybe you should just send an email to the high school association letting them know that. Maybe they could make some adjustments just for you.
For broadcasting purposes,
absolutely.
Please set a minimum size of the lettering on the front of the jersey.
Well, this is, of course, an Anoka team that won the section, won the conference, went to state, lost in the first round 1-0 to Stillwater.
Chance for Pagor, but he whiffed on it. Scooped up by the keeper, Connor Iverson.
And Iverson, one of the top goaltenders in the state of Minnesota. He had a big year last year coming back for his senior season.
He's got a big boot.
Yeah, he's definitely a plus for these Tornadoes. Their defense is very strong.
Doral working it back near midfield for Anoka. Now playing it ahead, OU. Near side for Oliverson. Gets it back. We'll send it back to the far side. Broken up there by Lilja. Cruckton gets it ahead for Hakaba, trying to slow it down in midfield. Getting some help from Rodriguez. Rodriguez sends it up the right side. Lilja trying to run onto it. Gross there in front of him. Tried to play it out off of Lilja, couldn't. Pagor trying to keep it in along the sides and can't do that.
Well, keep your eye on number 5 for Anoka, Donovan Gross, the leading scorer for this squad. 4 goals, 2 assists so far early in this season.
Pagor playing it back to Cruckton. Troubled by Panuski. Panuski upended, and that'll be the first foul going against Cruckton.
Well, Joe, as you know, anytime you go through a period where you can't score a goal, the more pressure is on your shoulders to score a goal. And Coon Rapids, they know that if they can get this first goal here, if there's a possibility they could strike first, that would give them a lot of confidence. It's going to be a goal kick for Volker.
Yeah, it was a nice play there on the end line by Talixon, shielding the ball, letting it go out the end line, and getting the goal kick for Coon Rapids. Keeping it in is Gross on the end line. McElmurray out off of Coon Rapids. Talixon clearing it back up near midfield. Hakaba trips over the ball, able to get back up and keep it away from Heltemus. And a foul called against Coon Rapids.
Orlando Rodriguez reacting to that call. Didn't like the call from the official.
Doral trying to get around the corner, pushing it out front, broken up by Talixon. Chance out front for the Tornadoes, turned away by Clemente. And Clemente taking it off the foot of Oliverson and clearing it out of bounds.
Now their goal, obviously, try and keep Anoka wide. You get that opportunity in front of the goal. They have a lot of players that can score.
A little too much on that pass from Panuski, and they'll throw in for Coon Rapids deep in their own end. Kaba sending it ahead to Pagor. Troubled from behind, looking for some help. Gets it over to Gavick. Gavick, Kaba, little heel touch. Quickly turned around by Anoka. Rodriguez settling it for Coon Rapids. Panuski near side now for Oliverson. Troubled by Clemente. Gets it back to McElmurray. Ahead looking for Oyu. Oyu looking for some room. Left-footed shot blocked up by the defender. Cleared away by Talixon.
Well, good job recovering on the defense and blocking that shot by Oyu. Oyu.
Hakaba nearly broke up that pass, now able to take it away from Heltemus. Little give and go there with Pagor. Trying to send one in where Clemente could get to it, but he gets it right back. Here's Clemente. Working it to Pagor. A little too much, getting it back, but Cruckton there to recover. Rodriguez now. Far side for Gavick. Back to Rodriguez. Looking into the corner. A little too far in front of Lilja, and it's turned around by Meshuga.
Defenders for Anoka doing a nice job of really controlling the play and not letting Coon Rapids get any opportunities for any looks. And do a nice job of getting it back to the Cardinal third.
OU apparently couldn't keep it in bounds along that sideline. But so far, no shots attempted for Anoka either. They have had the ball down in good scoring position. I guess you could say there was one shot attempted, but it was blocked away by a defender.
Well, and the Cardinals know coming into this game, Joe, it's a tough contest. This is a team that's very successful. As we talked about, made it to state last year, bringing back one of the top goaltenders in the state, and they're also can score. So this is a team that Coon Rapids, I think, if they just feel like they can play a little bit loose against, not pressure too much, and see if they can just stay with the Tornadoes, maybe they'll get a break.
Rodriguez controlling. Moving it to Pagor, right back to Lilja. Ahead into the corner, Gavick has some space, crossing. Broken up nicely by Oliverson, who was in front of Clemente, keeping him from the ball. Here's Wells with it near midfield for Coon Rapids. Clemente trying to get past Oliverson, keeps the ball. Ahead to Hikaba. Hikaba marked there by Heltemus. Turns around, his shot off the back of Pagor. Hikaba gets it back. Pagor had it taken off his foot, moved back out near midfield. Doral controlling for the Tornadoes. Trips over the ball. Wells comes away with it. Clemente turning. Gets it back to Rodriguez. He couldn't control the pass in his chest. Cruckton serving it up into the corner. Nobody there in a white jersey, and it rolls in on Iverson.
Well, it's nice to have a goalie with a big boot like that, so you can get that ball back quickly to the Cardinal end.
OU running onto the ball with a little bit of space, trying to stop up. Shaber had a foot on it. Able to slide and get it back to his teammate. Served in, now served right back out by Lilja. Gavick ahead for Pagor, running on the right side against Treadle. Out of bounds to Coon Rapids.
The Cardinals doing a nice job after just a small bit of pressure by the Tornadoes, doing a good job of getting the ball back out of their zone.
Foul called against the Tornadoes. A little too much body on that free ball. Coon Rapids with a free kick about, we'll see where they spotted, about 40 yards out. This is a ways away from the net, but a spot where set plays can start and be dangerous. Hikaba will handle it for the Cardinals. Two-man wall for Anoka. 6 white jerseys clustered around that back post. Here comes Hikaba on the run up. Low in to Gavick, trying to get around the corner, poked away by Heltemus. Anoka quickly running back toward midfield. Broken up by Rodriguez, turned around by Shaber, but right back out of bounds on the near side. Cruckton able to take it away from Panuski. Panuski stopped up his clear attempt. OU takes it away from Rodriguez. Wells stops up his pass.
They're trying to play a little give and go, and the Cardinal defense doing a nice job of not allowing that.
Cruckton in to get a steal for Coon Rapids. Serves it ahead for Hikaba, running in 1v2. Stops up to find a little space against Heltemus. Heltemus able to poke it away. Quinones clearing it back out near midfield. Jason Lilja will track it down for Coon Rapids. Play it back for Rodriguez. Got away from him a little bit, but he's able to recover. Down the sidelines, Pagor with Treadle right there. Trying to bring it back toward the middle. Poked away by Oliverson. And Oliverson will get it back on the near sideline. Plays it ahead. Doral trying to get around the corner. Long cross attempt. And I think Oyu thought he should get a foul as the keeper crashed into him trying to get to that ball.
Well, that kick was just a little bit too much loft on it, I think, for allowing Oyu to get any kind of touch on the ball. And I thought Volka did a nice job of just coming out and taking charge.
Couple subs for the Tornadoes. Cardinals with a group of subs waiting in midfield. Throwing goes right back to Gross. Crosses out front. Back door. And taking a little too long for the shot was Larson, and before he could get it off, Shaver was right there. Steal for Gavick. Moving it ahead, Hikaba will try and serve it back to him, but there to break it up is Aldrich. Pagor gets it back for Coon Rapids near midfield. Along the near sidelines comes Larson, trying to get around the corner on Shaver, crossing out front, broken up by Talixon. Panuski taken down from behind by Cruckton, and Anoka will have a free shot from a pretty dangerous spot.
A situation where you give it up in that close to the goal, and you have an opportunity for the Tornadoes to try and put the first goal of the game in here.
Mitch Doral will take it, swinging it to the back post. Well, dangerous play by the keeper Volker. He couldn't get to the initial one, but fortunately it kind of came with him and he was able to cover it up.
Well, he tried to grab it and it just kind of went off one hand, and as he was falling, as you're right, he was able to pull it into his body. You'll see him coming here, just trying to get it. Kind of misjudged it, I think, a little bit, and then it just went past a Anoka player and he was able to bring it in. There you see him just pull the ball in at that point.
Another foul against Coon Rapids, but this time out near midfield. Long pass in, headed away by Lilja. Shaber clears it to the far side. Doral running onto it for Anoka. He'll play it back to Quinones. Long cross looking for the near side. And too deep as Volker comes out to swallow it up. Rodriguez, nice little footwork to get away from Aldrich. Plays it far side, long run for Pagor to get there. He's got help from Jason Lilja. Gross right with him. Anoka definitely not allowing Coon Rapids any time to set up in their attacking end. As Anoka quickly able to clear it back near midfield.
But unlike, I think, Joe, unlike Eastview really dominated down in the Cardinal third for the majority of the game. I think Cardinals playing a little bit better than they did the night we saw them, just competing a little bit better and getting it out of their zone.
Well, and doing a much better job of marking deep in their defensive end. While Anoka has spent a fair amount of time in that attacking third, they really haven't had any scoring opportunities because Coon Rapids' defense has been between the ball and the net. Cardinal throw in a little too high for Hikaba. Settled by Lopez. Trying to send it into the corner and give a chance for Berhane to run onto it.
Well, downward cross, just a little bit too much speed as he gets to the ball quickly. We talked about him. He's quick and he's offensive, but in that time he was able to get to the ball and get it clear to the outside.
Coon Rapids with a throw in deep in Anoka territory. Cruckton will handle it. Headed away before it can get to Hikaba. Lopez gets a foot on it, gets it right back from Gavick, trying to get through a couple of defenders. A lot of maroon shirts down in that, deep in that defensive end.
Coach Hayes really is happy with his back half.
Long shot by Cruckton, but well wide of the mark. And it'll be a goal kick for the Tornadoes.
It all starts from the goal working out, but his defense in his back part of the field has really been playing well this season. Played well last season as well. It's carrying over. We see the opportunity. Shot wide.
Another throw in for Anoka. Anoka doing the wholesale change almost.
Yeah, they're bringing 5 players back in the lineup.
Well, Pete Hayes also a hockey coach,
Yep.
so line changes
line
five
changes, yeah.
five at a time. It's what he's used to doing, rolling lines out. He's the girls' varsity coach there at Anoka. Another relatively successful program, except for when they run into the Cardinals.
They can't win them all.
No. But as I've mentioned to him, and we've talked about their game against Centennial, which we had the opportunity to do last year, a very entertaining game. Went to triple overtime. And it was fun to watch that game because allowed us to be completely unbiased.
Which happens so infrequently.
Yeah, and it was a really entertaining game.
It was, there's no doubt.
Also. See, Kaba trying to make something happen, then lost the footing a little bit. Constantino moving it ahead for Oyu. Oyu getting it in behind the defense for Miranowski, but he let it get away from him a little bit too far and scooped up by Volker.
That was a nice pass by Oyu as he's able to get it to Miranowski, but as you mentioned, couldn't control it on his foot. That would have been the best opportunity of the day for the Tornadoes, as he had a step on the defender.
Larson long boot to the Coon Rapids end, but Oyu behind the defense, called for offside. Talixon short pass for Shaber off the free kick. Moving it ahead, and that's a pretty easy one to call right there as Andrew Park put an elbow into the back of Alex Lopez, sending him to the turf.
Yeah, that was a little blatant, right in front of the official. But he did the sportsmanlike thing, went to try and help up Lopez.
Talixon puts the boot to this one. Anoka able to get the header on it. Constantino trying to send it back out near midfield, slowed down by Trevor Panuski. We have Panuskis on both halves.
Common name up in this conference.
Well, there's
the skiers.
I was going to say the downhill ski coach, and I think Trevor is Coon Rapids. Panuski is also the star of the Alpine team.
Just a sophomore as well.
Senior. That would be Coon Rapids.
That would, yeah, okay.
Cody Panuski for Anoka is a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
You are correct.
Yes.
You're not completely senile.
Not yet, but give me some time. As the days progress, I get more and more senile.
Anoka with a throw in deep in the Coon Rapids end. Talixon heading it away from the net. Cruckton sends it back out toward midfield. Anoka will control. Meshuga sends it back to the near side. Shaber got ahead on it. Knocked down by Fries. Matthias Fries, the German exchange student for Coon Rapids, the only goal so far this season for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the first game against Park of Cottage Grove.
But we were told we were saying his name wrong. We apologize for that. We appreciate the email informing us of our mistake.
Yeah, I've told the story.
Only to go to Jason Jacob before the game and say, yeah, we got it. It's Matthias Fries. We'll get it right the rest of the season. He says, well, he seems to say fries, like American fries. Either way, I think we were mispronouncing it because we were calling him Freeze.
We were calling him Freeze.
I like the Mr. Freeze kind of moniker, though. But we will go with Freeze because that is the pronunciation we received via email.
Yes, and as you mentioned, we've gone through seasons where we've mispronounced names and nobody has corrected
Multiple
us, so,
seasons.
Yeah. So we definitely appreciate when somebody corrects us.
Darren Pietrzewski. Or Petrszewski.
Or Petrszewski.
Still one of the greatest names that we've come across in all these years. An opportunity for Anoka coming in. Good job by Talix and shielding McElmurray. McElmurray still running in on the net and on the goalkeeper. And he's going to get talked to by the official.
Yes, he will.
As it was clear that, see, he took a little shot at the ball. And it was clear that Volker had control.
This is true, but the one who retaliates second always not always gets the blame.
Just a warning this time. We can't really hear the official, but I'm sure he said something about it was clearly under control.
Well, I thought he said something like, "Hey, did you hear Joe Young the other night?"
What? Rodriguez, nice job to get out from behind, between a couple of defenders, and then pushed from behind by McElmurray.
Get a little physical.
Cruckton will take this one. Again, about 40 yards away from the Anoka net. Two-man wall in front of him. Cruckton runs up and boots it through the uprights.
I don't think exactly as he planned. Garmina Pagar coming back into the lineup for the Cardinals. There's a good look at head coach Pete Hayes. 23rd season, Joe Young. He's been doing this longer than we have.
I was just going to say that. But good guy. We were talking about it before the contest. One of my more favorite opposing coaches that we have the opportunity to see a couple of times a year. Race for the ball deep in the Cardinal end. Poked away out of bounds. And good mark by Talixon.
Oh, approaching the 15-minute mark. See, again, you can see a good job there. He just pushed it wide, but a good job of marking there. And Coon Rapids has been doing a nice job of staying in this game, and as you mentioned, doing a good job on the defensive end when the Anoka Tornadoes have opportunities. Yeah,
if Talixon's a half a step behind where he was, OU's got an opportunity to take good shot on net. But so far, no shots on net by either team. Unofficially, I have Coon Rapids with 3 attempted and Anoka with 2. Which may seem surprising considering Anoka has probably spent a little more time possessing the ball in the Anoka, or in the Coon Rapids end than Coon Rapids has spent in control of the ball in the Anoka territory. But it's the way I see it. That's why those stats are
unofficial.
Of course. Right into the scrum, a couple of Anoka players able to get heads on it. Now cleared out back near midfield, out of bounds. Another Coon Rapids throw in. Just about 14 minutes remaining in this opening half. And a relatively balanced half. Anoka probably holding a slight edge in possession, but no real scoring chances for either team. Both defenses playing very, very well. Freese had an opportunity there, but cleared away by Meshuggah.
Well, you saw a Twitter feed earlier. You can reach us on Twitter, but you can also reach us on Facebook. So check us out. Push the like button.
Gotta like
CTN
CTN Studios on Facebook, especially if you pirate our YouTube videos for your own Facebook page.
At least like our page.
Not that anyone would do such a thing.
Of course not. But just in case.
Turnaround shot by Cruckton, but not a lot on it. But right on goal. First shot on goal for either squad. Wow, he does have a boot.
Yep, he does.
Doral is shot, or I'm not sure if that was a shot or I think that was more of a cross, looking to get it back to Oyu, crashing the back post. So I'm not going to call it a shot.
No, Oyu's quick, and they tried to get it to him, but again, a little bit too much on it. Volker doing a good job of coming out and grabbing the ball.
He is definitely an aggressive keeper. And that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
Pagor steps in and breaks up the possession there by Anoka. But Lopez couldn't handle the pass, taken away by Panuski for Anoka. Sent back to Oyu. Oyu chipping it for Doral on the run on the left side. He overran it a little bit. Talixon will turn and try and clear it, but here's Gross with it. Back out front for Panuski. Oliverson had a chance at it. Freese moves it ahead for Cruckton along the sideline. A little fancy little footwork to put it out of bounds off of Anoka. Panuski couldn't handle that one, right back out of bounds. Hakaba putting it into the corner. Lilja pressuring. Gross knocks it out of bounds. Cardinals with another throw in deep in the Anoka end. High toss headed away by the Anoka defenders. Now cleared back out near midfield. Shaber trying to get in front of Oyu. Both missed it. It comes back to Talixon.
Hopefully we'll get an opportunity, Joe, to talk to head coach Pete Hayes at the break, and we'll see what his thoughts are on this team and on this first half and how his team is performing, and the fact that Coon Rapids doing a pretty good job.
Shot by Akaba from a tough angle, got under it a little bit, and it'll be a goal kick. Yeah, I think coming in, they were definitely heavily favored.
Yep.
And just have not had any opportunity to get good looks at the net. And that one actually a pretty good look for Hakaba. Just got under it or behind it a little bit and sent it over the net.
Well, the longer the Cardinals stay in this game, the more confidence they'll build, and that's a big thing for this team.
Long shot, and I guess we could call that on goal. I'm not sure that it was, but Volker stepped over and grabbed hold of it. So first shot on goal for Anoka. And we're more than a half hour into this contest. Which that in and of itself is a bit of a victory probably for Coon Rapids. And
exactly.
As you mentioned, they start to get more confidence. And You know, the more they feel that they have a chance to win this.
Well, and they look at the Anoka team, as we talked about, a team that went to state last year with a lot of the same players here, and a fair amount anyway, and a team that started 3-0, and Coon Rapids struggling a little bit at this point in the season. This would be an opportunity for them, just a moral boost if they keep it scoreless at the half. It'd be great, obviously, if the Cardinals could get on the board. But
yeah, if they and they've had in the last few minutes, I'd say they've had the better pressure.
Yep.
A little too much jockeying there by Cruckton, and he's called for the foul as he and Jake McElmurray got tangled up. Free kick just chipped to McElmurray. Now Gross with it, plays it back for Doral. Doral looking for some room. His shot blocked away by Gavick. Freese and Hakaba pushing it back near midfield. And cleared away to the near side by Meshuggah. Here's Oliverson. Slide tackled away by Clemente.
Nice job by Clemente just for them, that slide tackle, just to get his offense or his defense set back up again.
This one comes right back to Oliverson. Cleared right back out by Talixon. And yeah, the defense for Coon Rapids has played very well tonight. Again, marking very tight, but keeping themselves between the Anoka players and the goal.
Well, the key is obviously defenders can't let the offensive player turn on them in the defensive end, and that's what they're doing a good job of trying to prevent.
Dangerous play down near the Coon Rapids end. High ball off the foot of Cruckton. Gross had a header on it. Hakaba battling there for it. Gross ends up on the ground. And the foul goes against Hakaba.
Well, if you want to order a copy of this game on Blu-ray, you can now do it. The best way to get CTN videos, go to shop.ctnstudios.tv. You can order online. You can see Joe Yund in high def, which I know everybody is dying to see.
New. Corner kick coming up for Anoka. Off that long shot that was headed away by Shaber. Take by Mitch Doral. Way over everybody at the back post, right out the far side. Huh? Kept in? No. There it is.
Yeah, he didn't keep it in.
Yeah. Little too much on that one. Cruckton moving it up the left side. Turned around by Meshuggah. Gross. Stopped up by Lilja. Freese can't get it past Gross. Gross will step up into the Coon Rapids end. Pass is taken away. Sent back the other direction by Trevor Panuski. Hakaba back to Panuski. Well, one-touch pass, didn't quite have enough on it. Cleared away by Quinones.
And the Cardinals get a throw-in down in the Tornado end. You're under 5 minutes remaining to play in this opening half, and we've yet to see a score. Not a lot of looks by either team at this point.
No, just one shot on goal for each team. Neither of those shots really dangerous. I would say no real quality scoring chances for either team. And Cruckton kind of ran over Oyu, and we'll get the foul.
They say just a just kind of give him a little shove.
Put him on skates.
Yeah.
Cruckton tried to save it, send it out the side instead of the end, and looks like he was able to do that, just barely. And Cruckton being a little too aggressive will get another foul. Quick kick off the free kick. Can't get to the header at the back post, though. And the Cardinals will kick it out on the near side. Miranowski throws it in, headed by Cody Panuski. Out the end line, it'll be a goal kick, Coon Rapids.
Lopez and Rodriguez checking back in for the Cardinals.
Gross pushing it down the far sideline, stopped up by Talixson for Coon Rapids. Back ahead to Rodriguez, marked closely by Quinones. Good passing. Trevor Panuski gets it ahead for Gavick. Near side now for Clemente. Cardinals working it to the far end. A little chip a little too far. Icaba trying to send Lopez in on the keeper.
It was a nice move by Icaba to get some space to attempt that pass to Lopez. As you mentioned, it's a little too far.
Easy here.
Foul called against Anoka. Rodriguez playing it back to Panuski. Shaber now will send it ahead. Stepping in to break it up with Miranowski. And another foul against Anoka.
Under a minute.
Talixson a little too much on that one and sends it wide out of play.
Iverson taking not in a hurry to get this ball off. Is it about 30 seconds remaining in the half.
Hey, he took, about 20, 25 seconds to go get that ball, set it up, and finally kick it away. Doral working down the right side, trying to make something happen, gets the corner. He was behind Rodriguez, now crosses it back, cleared away, out of play. It's a goal kick for Anoka, but they're not going to get it off.
No, it was a nice play to set it up in front. There's a little bit too much on it.
Or a corner kick it would have been. But, yeah, we played 40 minutes and no score between these two. And, again, Anoka came in heavily favored in this contest. But Cardinals playing right with them. And really, as we talked about, the last part of that first half probably had a little bit of an edge in as far as territory.
Yeah, and we talked about the confidence factor, and I think Coon Rapids has it now, playing to, at halftime 0-0 at this point, and we're going to get a chance to we'll ask a quick question of head coach Pete Hayes. He's going to take kind enough to put on a headset and talk to us a little bit.
And he is with us, and head coach Pete Hayes. First of all, what do you think of that first half, and what do you do differently in the second to try and turn things in your favor?
Well, I thought for the most part we controlled the play, but weren't real aggressive inside the offensive box where we had a couple opportunities and jump on balls. Besides that, I think we got to mark them up a little bit tighter in the middle of the field. We're giving them too much room, but I think the intensity's there, so that's the biggest thing that I asked for.
All right, well, good luck in the second half. Thanks for joining us. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the first half stats and highlights from Cardinal Sports Complex right after this.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
My name's Reggie. Just recently, my wife and I took in her sister's children. And we already had 4, so I went from becoming a family man to a man with a bigger family. Now, you can't eat love, so I don't know how I'm gonna feed them tonight. How was that, Rich?
I think I look more like Denzel.
That's cold, man.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
If you're looking for a loan or you'd like to buy a home, when you want to land a job or your identity's been robbed, annualcreditreport.com, the one you can depend upon. Check your credit to review all your bills and payments too. It's as easy as can be and it's absolutely free. Hey! Annualcreditreport.com, the one you can depend upon. Annualcreditreport.com, the one you can depend upon.
Annualcreditreport.com, no hidden fees, absolutely free.
When you watch CTN News, you'll notice we're different. It's about the people, the places, the stories that affect your life.
We're local. We focus on the local communities, the local issues, and the local stories.
They're the stories that impact you, the stories you won't find anywhere else.
It's the people, the places, and the events that make CTN so interesting.
It's about connecting you to your community, one story at a time.
Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, no score midway through this Northwest Suburban Conference boys soccer opener. And Howie, that's kind of a moral victory for Coon Rapids because coming in, the Tornadoes, the defending champions, off to a 3-0 start. Definitely heavily favored. The Cardinals were right with them all through that first half.
Anoka got a little bit of pressure, but to give credit to the Cardinal defense, they really did a good job of marking their players and keeping them in front of them and really limiting any kind of opportunities for the Tornadoes.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Obviously, no goals to see, but no real, what I would call good scoring opportunities for either team either. Just one shot on goal for each team through the first 40 minutes of play. And neither of those shots, there's the one for Coon Rapids. Neither of those shots really had anything on them. That maybe was the best scoring opportunity for either team in the first half, and you saw that Hakaba got well under it and sent it up through the uprights.
And just 6 shot attempts for Coon Rapids, just 4 for the Tornadoes. Only one of those shots for either team found its mark on goal. So we talked about a fairly even first half for these two teams.
We've got 40 more minutes of soccer to play, at least. It's 0-0 in this Northwest Suburban Conference opener. We'll be back with the second half from the Cardinal Sports Complex right after this.
All the action, all the emotion, all the excitement. It's all here. Cardinal Sports Live on CTN. Be sure to watch CTN's live coverage of high school football as Coon Rapids takes on Centennial only on cable channel 15.
Light bulbs are getting more efficient. They use a lot less energy to give you the light you want, which means you'll pay lower energy bills. Better light bulbs also mean a better way to shop. You're probably used to buying light bulbs based on watts, but watts only tell you how much energy a bulb uses, not brightness. If you want to know how bright a bulb is, you need to think lumens. The more lumens, the brighter the light, no matter the bulb. A traditional bulb uses 60 watts to produce 800 lumens, but this bulb delivers 800 lumens using only 15 watts. All these bulbs use different amounts of energy, but produce the same amount of light. How do you know which one to buy? To help you decide, light bulb packages will have a lighting facts label. It'll tell you a bulb's brightness and an estimate of its energy cost and lifespan. So the next time you shop for a light bulb, look for the lumens and the lighting facts label. It's a bright idea.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
Paskey, she's got speed behind the defense, a shot to goal! The Cardinals go in there in 5.
Most stores are just a store. Ted's store is different. Here it's about community, a place where kids can buy candy for 2 cents.
Handoff, Mo Ward cuts back to the left, picks up a block, changes hands, has a blocker downfield, and Bush gets around the corner, and dragged down. Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, halftime between the Cardinals and the Tornadoes in this Northwest Suburban Conference boys soccer opener. Joining us now on the sidelines, Coon Rapids head coach Jason Jacob. And Coach, your thoughts on that first half?
Very even. Both teams had their opportunities. Both teams defended pretty well. It's going to be one of those games where somebody makes a mistake and somebody capitalizes. That's probably going to be the difference.
What'd you talk about to the boys about at halftime? Any adjustments, any changes you're looking to make?
Not much. Just want to be consistent all the way through. We can't have any mental or physical breakdowns. Defensively, just got to make sure our head's in it all the time. And when we get opportunities offensively, we got to put the ball on goal. All
right, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half. We're just moments away from getting that second half underway. And Howie, I think both coaches said essentially the same thing. Relatively even game, and I think Jason was just right. They gotta keep doing what they're doing, stay consistent, especially on the defensive end.
Oh, they got to carry that confidence that they came out in that first half over into the second half, and they can't have any lapses, as he said. I think defensive lapses will hurt them if that happens.
Well, in the first half, Anoka really did not get any good looks at the net. They were the marking by the Cardinal defense was very, very good, and did a nice job of keeping them toward the outside. They did have a fair amount of possession, especially early in that first half, deep in the Coon Rapids end, but a lot of it from the sidelines, and we're not able to possess the ball in front of the net in the middle of the field, and really because of that did not have many good looks. And now, you know, we talked about it at the beginning of the game, the Cardinals staring into that harsh sun for the first half. Well, they made it through with no score, and so now it'll be Anoka keeper Connor Iverson that has to shield his eyes from the glare throughout the second and now very much more important half of the game.
You know, I think the big thing for Coon Rapids is when you're not scoring, you're not putting the ball in the net. It's a mental thing, and I think they went through a half and they didn't score, but defensively they played well. I think they have to, without losing any effort on the defensive end, have to try and find a way to get an opening and put a ball in the net.
Coon Rapids will start with the ball here in the second half. And we are underway. Pagor looks to play it back to Cruckton. Moves it ahead to Akaba. Got away from him a little bit, but he's able to recover, get it back to Pagor. Pagor looking for a little bit of space, a little bit of help. Back to Shaber. Lilja heads it toward the Anoka net. It'll trickle in on Iverson. He'll scoop it up. And really no wind at all.
Nope.
Out on the field. Iverson kind of slipped as he booted that one away and still clears midfield.
Hey, you know you're good when you can slip and still clear midfield.
Pineski, Hakaba rather, gets it across to Lilja, who didn't get the angle he wanted on it and sent it out of bounds.
Well, and Hakaba did a nice job of putting it out there for him, for Lilja, but as you mentioned, he just couldn't settle the ball down to get a decent shot on goal. Sends it over the net.
Pineski and Hakaba, they look a lot alike.
Yeah. And the names sound alike as well.
Right.
You can understand how you get those two mixed up.
9 and 18, I mean.
Well, there you go. If you double 9, there you
right.
go. See, there's some commonality right there. You found it, Joe.
I have no idea how that one. Well, what are you going to do? I make mistakes once in a while.
Offsides.
Offside as Oyu got behind the defense a little bit early. Nice of Talixon to call that one for the officials.
Yep.
Sometimes the officials need a little help. I'm liking the blue unis for the officials tonight. Need a little more communication there as Lilja had to go up over Pagor to get that header. Like seeing that aggressive play from your team, but you'd rather they weren't aggressive for the ball against one another.
I agree.
Rodriguez missed on that one. Nice little move. Turnaround shot by Oyu, blocked away out of bounds by Volker, and a corner kick coming up for Anoka. Great little move by McElmurray.
Yep.
And
then
then
a nice
Oyu,
look.
a spin and a shot. And that one may have been going wide, but you can't just let it go by and hope it goes wide.
Nope.
Off the corner, Volker goes up and gets it.
A good height from Ryan Volker, allowing him to go up and get that one.
Another offside call. Cardinals able to head it back down toward the Anoka end. And somebody went over someone's back, and it was an Anoka foul. Cardinals going to have a free kick from a pretty good spot right here.
good opportunity for Coon Rapids, see if they can draw first blood.
Yeah, this one's going to be just a little more than 20 yards away. Well, Howie will be back at this very same field on Friday night. It'll have a little bit different look. I think it's going to get a paint job between now and then.
I think you probably will get a little bit of a paint job, but I heard somebody was out on a riding mower on Saturday mowing this field.
Well, you said that earlier.
I know.
Jeff DJ
taking
care of business.
Yep. Jeff's up with us in the booth.
Brought
us some food, which we really appreciate.
If you have to get a job done right, do it yourself.
He's coming over to my house this weekend to mow my lawn as well. He said so.
It's his new Saturday gig.
Yeah.
Well, off the free kick, Ikaba got under it a little bit and sent it sailing. Cardinals are crying foul.
Coach Jacob shouting some instruction.
They came up on the ball, no question, before he kicked it. And until that ball is touched, they can't be within 10 yards.
Nope.
So that realistically should have been a re-kick.
Not happy is Coach Jacob.
Well, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a shot from a good spot. Would it have changed the shot that Ikaba had? Maybe, maybe not. But, if you break the rules, the other team, here's another look at it. Now, if one of those guys touches it, that's fine. They can then approach the ball, but no one touched it until Ikaba struck it. And they've definitely got a defender coming up on it.
Well, Coach Jacob had an argument, but nobody was gonna listen.
Well, very rarely do you get officials to say, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. In the years I've been doing this, I don't know that I've ever seen it. In the years I've been alive, I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Now, I've seen calls where one official overrules another one and
Yes.
said you were wrong, but never from a coach's argument.
Not typically, no. Well, there was the NFL official, but that wasn't a coach.
No.
The NFL official at the Dallas game last year, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. Multiple calls, and he couldn't remember which number or which team or.
I think he was about my age.
One of the greatest, come on, man, scenes of all time.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. We're all human. At least most of us.
So the Cardinal Grill going to be up and going on Friday?
Of course.
Have we?
Oh, we've believe me, have we? I've been sending emails.
Have we worked?
I hired a plane. I hired a plane to fly over with a message to bring Joe and Howie food.
Oh, we're so bad.
Yes, we are.
Shot from a ways out and easy save for Volker. Always on the lookout for free food.
Hey, if I can smell it, it's mine.
Got to say, the Cardinal Grill does do a wonderful job with those turkey legs and the roasted corn.
And they're having pizza.
Oh, yeah.
A pizza. And
I get enough pizza in my life. Not enough turkey legs.
No. I asked to make sure they brought one for each of us so we didn't have to share one.
Anoka trying to push it back the other way, and offside this time is Mitch Durrell. This is where the move that White Bear Lake player, I'm blanking on his name, but where he was so effective because until that ball was struck, he was backing up against the defender, and then he had a nice spin move both ways.
Or Eastview? Was it White
No,
Bear? That was White Bear. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know.
The first game. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm always right.
I didn't say that. I didn't say. I'm mostly right. I mean, there's one person in this world who believes that I am always right. And I will make sure when it comes to him, I am always right. Even when I'm wrong.
He thinks you're right.
He should, at least for another couple of years. Once he gets to be a teenager, I'm not so sure. So, I mean, a lot of
all
things,
bets are off at that point.
A lot of things will change. I'm sure. First day of school today, in third grade, very excited to go back to school. He was ready to go half hour, 45 minutes before it was time. I mean, he was pumped. Psyched to go to school. All smiles. By the time he gets to high school, I'm guessing that's probably nice little bicycle kick by Crumpton ascended into the Anoka end, but quickly turned around by Meshuggah. I just, I don't know that, I don't remember it being as exciting to go back to school when I was in high school.
So you picked him up. Was the first day all that it hoped to be for young Mr. Young?
Yes, he was very excited to, said it was a lot of fun, and he knows a lot of his classmates. And
very nice.
It's a lot of first day stuff.
Yep.
Learning the class rules. He does have some homework, which he was going to do right as soon as he walked in the door.
Wow.
So that afterwards he would be free to go play with the neighborhood kids. Of course, that meant he had to turn off Star Wars in order to read, but he was willing to do that.
You've taught him well.
Ooh, Oyu, nice stop move, left-footed shot, just over the net. That, I think, now the best scoring opportunity of the game.
Yeah, he really had the opportunity to go for that far corner, and as you mentioned, just a little bit too high. We'll see it again, and watch the spin move. Just a great job to get away from the defender, and then tries for that far corner.
Yeah, great little stop move to find space and knew what to do with it. Just a wee bit too high. And, of course, he had that good turnaround shot earlier in the half, so two good scoring opportunities for Anoka, both off of the foot of Roland Oyu. Pagor trying to send it ahead. That's broken up. Turning it back upfield is Quinones. Talixon stops it up for the Cardinals. Hikaba trying to get around his man, loses it out of bounds. Helptimus tapped it out, so it'll be a Cardinal throw-in.
A couple of substitutions for both squads. Friesen Lopez in the action for Coon Rapids.
Good pressure by the Cardinals, but unable to make anything happen.
Well, I think it's mindset for Coon Rapids right now. They know that at this point of the game, they can play with Anoka, and they believe it. They're doing a good job of staying with this club.
Well, and Anoka keeping several players back deep in that defensive end. They are not going to be outnumbered deep in their own end. Here's Crumpton in the middle of the field. And the Anoka defense collapsed and took it away from him. Wells breaking things up just on the Coon Rapids side of midfield. Now far side goes Oliverson, but he can't keep it in.
This is a young mix, too, for this team. There's a number of sophomores in this starting lineup. 5, as a matter of fact. And 3 of them in the midfield.
Talixon getting it back to Berhane. Wasn't Berhane. It's Rodriguez. Getting everybody wrong here in the second half, apparently.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Ouch.
Rodriguez went way up trying to get to that and came down kind of hard. But that was optimistic. I mean, to try and get a foot on a ball that's 7 feet up.
He got a lot of height on that.
He got up there.
But it hurts on the landing. So you can see it there. Yeah, that's got to hurt a little bit on the landing.
They're young. They bounce.
They do.
He looks no
They're
worse
strong.
for wear.
Yep.
I would have pulled 3 or 4 muscles just in the jump and then broken a bone on the way down. Doral will take this free kick.
That'd be impressive.
Panuski, header well wide. Well, Howie, no sports night this week.
Nope.
Because of the Labor Day holiday on Monday. But, you know, it also gives that preview a little more time to breathe, more opportunity for the community to get an idea of what to expect from the Cardinal programs this season. But that means a double edition, double dose
of sports
next
night?
week. Well, so to speak.
Yep.
It just means it will really be a fast half hour.
The fastest half hour on television.
And, of course, I was going to say something bright, but
hey, there's a first for everything.
I remembered I'm not. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I am not equipped to say anything bright, but it was a good thought.
Oh, I was just going to say that you know, remember every Monday live at 7:30, replays throughout the week, but new editions every Monday during the fall season. It is only during the spring season that we move things to Tuesdays because of the Monday-Wednesday game schedule for the baseball and softball teams. That's it.
That's
I guess
it wasn't. That was. Well,
I guess it wasn't all that bright after all.
But it was concise, so we appreciate that.
Wasn't all that concise either.
It was
informative.
Yeah.
That
it was informative.
It was informative.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Gavick can't quite handle that pass and bounces away. Panuski clears it to Oliverson on the right side for Anoka as we get back to actually talking about the game. Cruckton a steal near midfield. Panuski gets it back for the Tornadoes. Panuski up the far sideline, cleared away out of bounds by Coon Rapids.
Well, Joe, it's getting close to the halfway mark of the second half, and we still yet to see a score. And if you would ask me of that before the game, I wouldn't think that it would be 0-0 at this point in the game.
Well, it just means that first goal will be
huge,
even more critical the longer it takes to get there. Anoka can't quite keep it in on the near side. Matthias Fries will throw it in to Cruckton. Cruckton heads it right back out of bounds.
Anoka's quick to get it back in, go on the attack.
Cross back to the far side. Opportunity for Park running in on it. Tried to pass through a couple of defenders. That did not go so well. Pagor trying to skip it ahead to Lopez, broken up there by Park. Lopez ends up on the turf, but no call. Marinowski trying to get around the corner. Got it ahead for Doral. Gets past Shaber, chips it out front, partially broken up, cleared away out of bounds.
Now, Volker was coming out.
Alexson.
Yeah, and Volker was coming out to try and get that ball, but Alexson was going to get it cleared any way he could. You see the time left, under 20 minutes.
In regulation.
In regulation. That is correct.
I think that's when you start talking about in regulation. Yep. Once you're past the midway point. There's a header right in on goal off of Marinowski. Well, the shot's definitely favoring Anoka here in the second half. They have 4 shots attempted, 3 of them on goal. A couple of pretty decent scoring opportunities as well.
Well, and they now pulled even with shot attempts with Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids is leading at the half by a couple. Now each squad has eight shot attempts. The difference is 4 of those shot attempts of those 8 by Anoka are on goal.
Those stats unofficial.
Unofficial, of course.
Of course. Anoka's starting to be a little more aggressive in the offensive end. We heard Coach Pete Hayes talking about that at the end of that first half. He said, you know, we're possessing the ball pretty well, but we need to be more aggressive in our offensive end. And they have definitely picked up on that here in the second half. Lopez looking for a little bit of room. And not enough on his pass to get it back to Akaba. Taken away by Panuski. And went out of bounds, but apparently we didn't want to. Okay, now we will. We'll give a chance for a couple of subs to come in. Lilja and Wells in for the Cardinals. Quinones onto the field for Anoka. And now Hakaba will throw it in from in front of the Anoka bench. Right to Lopez, skipped away from him a little bit. It's cleared by Heltemus. Cruckton trying to regain control for the Cardinals, but play it back into the Coon Rapids end. Right back to the Anoka territory. Taken out of bounds by Meshuga.
Clemente and Rodriguez now checking the lineup for Coon Rapids. Coach Jacobs getting moving some players in and out.
Well, you want to have all your studs on the field for about the last 8 to 10 minutes. in a tie game. So try and keep as many legs fresh as possible. Cruckton with a shot from a ways out. A little bit trouble handling it by Iverson. It's the first shot on goal for the Cardinals. Not a dangerous shot.
Cardinals have too many men on the field.
Oh.
They have 12 players on the field.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
As long as I can count.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can count that there's...
well, Minneapolis, they taught us to count to 12. So we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Any more than that, we'd be in trouble, but 12 is good.
And that'll be a yellow card for the bench.
Substitutions. What'd the bench do?
Sent someone in without taking someone off.
We talked about keepsake videos. You can get Blu-rays of any of this game and any others.
Well,
through CTNstudios.com.
Good to see Coach Jacob can smile about it.
Yeah. 11, 12. Whatever works. And our officials getting things straightened out on the field. Head coach Pete Hayes talking to the official, trying to get clarification as well.
They're getting it. It's taking a little bit longer to sort this out than I would have expected.
Or liked.
No, it doesn't bother me none.
Well, the clock's running. They just stopped the clock, but it had been running. Oh, it's running.
Our clock is running. Our clock is now stopped. A couple seconds behind the other one. But.
Well, they put 15:10 on the clock now. Here in the stadium. So it's 15:10. All right, I think everybody's on the same page now.
Well, and it, you know, Coach Jacob, of course, able to smile about it because it's not woo. That was just a dangerous play back toward your own net.
Did a little Jerry Grant there.
I did.
You did a little Jerry Grant.
Or Abbott. Or Lou Costello.
Well, you lost about half our audience with that one.
Probably 80%, but.
Well, I'm giving the parents at least some credit of knowing who Abbott was. Abbott and Costello.
Oh, what was Costello's first name?
Lou.
Or what was Abbott's first
Bud.
name? That's what I meant. Bud Abbott, that's right. Hey, Abbott.
Hey, Abbott.
Yeah, and I was going to say just before the Jerry Grant / Lou Costello moment that, Coach Jacob was able to smile about it. A chance for the Cardinals. Lilja just got way under that.
Sometimes your eyes get so big that you don't get a chance to control it, and that was a goal for Coon Rapids. That would have put the Cardinals in the lead with 13 minutes to play. Again, just a nice play and a good job getting it out in front. And there's a miss. There was a miss there by Rodriguez, and then Lilja just mishitting it.
Got to get that knee over the ball.
And you had Iverson way out of position.
Yep. And he knew it. You saw as soon as he struck that ball, he knew. Oh, did I just miss that? So for the fourth time, I'm going to try and complete that sentence. Not that it matters any longer.
Or anyone remember what you were talking about in the first place.
Just that Coach Jacob was able to smile about it because of the position of where the ball was on the field at the time the yellow card was called. Hardly matters any longer.
Exactly.
But 3 minutes ago when I started to say
it was
relevant.
Yeah.
It was relevant. Cardinal free kick bouncing in. Iverson will scoop it up. Nobody able to get to the ball during that scrum. And again, Iverson slipping as he punts it. Hakaba stops it up near midfield. Hakaba trying to find some room. Larson was there, stepped over it for Anoka. Played down the sideline by Rodriguez. Back to Rodriguez. McElmurray working against Rodriguez, trying to cross. Clemente had a foot on it. Here's Gross with it, getting it on the far side. Crossing it back out front. Wells gets that on it. And the Card's able to clear it back out near midfield. Stopped up. And Anoka called offside. Oh, and somebody said something about the officiating that the official did not agree with. VJ Hakaba.
Yep.
Given the card. So I'm not quite sure what. When the foul goes against the other team, you shouldn't be the one complaining enough to get a yellow card. Typically.
Typically.
But perhaps he was questioning a call that was not made somewhere else.
Just trying to be informative, helping the official out in every way he can.
See, now the Cardinals are short a player on the field. Because when Hakaba came off, they this has been an interesting one.
Well, now they're good.
Yeah, well, Talixon throws it. And now they're about to have an extra one on if Hakaba walks onto the field, or is he just walking to the sideline to check?
He's just walking to the sideline.
Okay. There's a good, solid shot. Iverson there for the save, but Clemente, a good, strong shot on goal.
Give us a tweet on Twitter, Facebook and Twitter, a couple of the social media outlets that we are on. Check it out.
And follow our activities.
Absolutely.
And our hijinks on Twitter.
There's so many hijinks.
I don't know who's controlling the Twitter account, so it's probably mostly serious news.
It's Josh Udvig, so I doubt it. Any of it's serious.
I was going to say, and even though it is, I think it's still mostly news related. Out the end line, it'll be a corner kick. Talixon was shielding it. He thought it went off of Anoka, but the referee points to the corner.
Yep.
And at this point in the game, that can be dangerous. 5th corner kick of the game for the Tornadoes. The Cardinals have not had a corner kick at all today.
There you see the time remaining, 8:45 in this half. Still no score.
Doral, an outswinger. knowing Tornado's able to get to it, and Rodriguez plays it back out near midfield. Quickly turned around by Meshuga.
Oh.
And the foul called against Rodriguez, trying to do a little bit of a bicycle kick too close to an opponent. And that's just
that's
a dangerous play. And those are the types of fouls you really should know better. Tornadoes playing it back to their defensive end. Tread a long through ball. Talixon waits on it. Turns it back around and out of bounds. Cardinals with a couple of players waiting in midfield, including VJ Hakaba, just waiting for their opportunity to bring him in. And another whistle blows. And another foul against Coon Rapids. Cardinals just hoping that Anoka forces a stoppage here so that they can get Hakaba and Shaber out.
And they like to get Hakaba's speed up front into this lineup.
Doral working around the corner, plays it back out, stopped up by McElmurray, and he got way under it.
And he knew it as well.
And there's the stoppage forced by Anoka that will allow Shaber and Hakaba back onto the field. Just under 7 minutes remaining.
Goal kick coming from Volker.
Cruckton moving it ahead, looking for Hakaba. Two defenders there with him. He gets it to Lilja along the near sideline. Lilja trying to get around the corner. Cleared away in front of him by Drew Larson. Coon Rapids throw it deep in the Anoka end. Out front, Pagor couldn't get to it.
But good little bit of pressure inside for Coon Rapids. Looking for that little bit of an opening to try and get that ball in.
One good defensive play by the Tornadoes to keep them from being able to do anything with it. And there's a foul as Shaber tripped up Oyu. Oh, that's another one the Cardinals thought was going to be a goal kick and instead turns into a corner. Number 6 for the Tornadoes.
Well, you give them a lot of these opportunities, and a good scoring team like Anoka may make something count, so they have to be careful what they do, especially as time is running out. We're running to 5-minute mark in this game.
Corral ready again. Good low boot. Headed away by Lilja. Shot attempt by Oliverson was off the back of Clemente. Now played back in deep, and coming out to attack that ball was Volker, and I don't know if he got kicked in the head as he's holding his head, because Oyu was right there looking to play that ball when Volker got there.
We'll see if we can see what happened in this replay, but I couldn't see it in terms of where his head, but let's see if we can see it here. Oh, it looks like a collision right there with his own player. Might have been a collision with Pagar.
Well, Volker still down, a little slow to get up. That is not good news. Of course, he left the end of the game last Tuesday against Eastview after a hard collision with an opponent going for a loose ball, and he had an incredible night last week against Eastview.
Oh, absolutely. It could have been much worse than it was. I think it was 3-0. It could have been 7-0, 8-0 the way he was playing. But a little bit of concern here for head coach Jason Jacob as his starting goaltender shaken up.
Well, we'll take a quick break while they take a look at starting goalkeeper Ryan Volker, and we'll be back with more from the Cardinal Sports Complex right after this.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All the action, all the emotion, all the excitement. It's all here. Cardinal Sports Live on CTN. Be sure to watch CTN's live coverage of high school football as Coon Rapids takes on Centennial only on cable channel 15.
All right, guys, we got to be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're going to run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm going to run around in circles, flap my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros. We're eating right, too. We fuel up to play 60.
If your school doesn't have a program, be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Well, Volker back to his feet. As you see, still a scoreless game, 4:34 remaining in regulation. And Volker down there with head coach Jason Jacob and our referee, of course.
Jim Diffley.
And Jim Diffley,
trainer.
the trainer, and discussing. And I don't know what the rules are for sure regarding if play is stopped because of an injury. Does that player have to come out? I believe that they do.
I believe they do as well.
And then it's a matter of when can they get that player back in.
It's a doubleheader tonight, Joe.
It is. Girls set to take on Anoka. The Cardinal girls still looking for their first win this season.
They had 2 non-conference games. This is their first conference game, of course. Starting out 0-2, and we'll talk a little bit about their games, or the past 2 games, and what they anticipate in this game against Anoka as we get into that game. But Volker is going to take a walk to the sideline. I'm not sure who is the backup goaltender last? Lilja, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, well, the Cardinal or the Tornado girls team 1 and 2.
Ryan Volker calling
there's
up
some
the crowd.
question about when he can go back in.
But in the meantime, you need a keeper in the net. Unless you're going to play that Maverick style without one.
That would be awfully dangerous.
That would be.
In a scoreless contest.
Okay, we're still waiting for any kind of a decision.
Yeah, because Volker, it looked like Volker was starting to head back out onto the field.
Oh,
he is. The sideline,
he's
taking off his jersey and handing his gloves to Lilja. So look at what we have coming up. Football home opener on Friday. The Cardinals hosting the 1-0 Centennial Cougars on Friday night. A little volleyball next Tuesday. And we have girls tennis on Thursday, maybe.
Maybe. Tentatively.
So it looks like they're going to give Lilja a little chance to warm up and get some practice in the net. So we'll take a quick break while they do that and be back with the conclusion of this Northwest Suburban Conference boys soccer opener right after this.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
It wasn't a very long warm-up for Ryan Lilja. And we are back to action with a backup keeper in the net for the Cardinals. We did see a goaltender change in the White Bear game when the White Bear keeper was called for a yellow card, and he was right back in there on the following whistle. But, yeah, it did sound like Volker was saying he's not going to let me come back into the game at all. So the Cardinals will have to finish this contest out with one of their top defenders playing in net instead. Whoa, he's got quite a boot, though. Hakaba sending it ahead, stopped up, gets it right back. Pagor gets it to Hakaba. Hakaba tripped up. And there is a foul called. I didn't think I heard it. They did not call a foul.
They did not call a foul.
Helps when you put your microphone down.
There's Seed again. Now let's see if he was brought down. It was a nice little feed to him. He gave him a little bit of a push and maybe a little bit of an act at the end there to fall to the turf, but nonetheless, they were calling plays like that earlier and calling infractions on those, but not there. And that would have been a great opportunity for Coon.
Yeah, it was right on the edge of the 18. I guess that qualifies as a shot on goal. It was from midfield.
Easy save for Iverson, but nonetheless, you saw Rodriguez coming in there trying to see if he could clean anything up.
Cruckton stopping it up near midfield. Turned around by Quinones for Anoka. Freese trying to bicycle kick it back in the Cardinal direction and ends up out of play.
Very good, cheerleaders, very good.
Another Anoka throwing deep in the Cardinal end. Played back out near midfield. Well, it looks like Lilja, or Volker rather, is running over to grab another jersey, so he may be back in the next time there's a whistle caused by Anoka. Oof. Right after the whistle, Cruckton fired it, and Miranowski was right there. Took that right off the chin. Volker is standing in midfield. He's ready to go.
Clock's continuing to move, and
now it'll be stopped.
Yep.
As
Miranowski
is definitely slow to get up, and here comes Volker back into the game. That's good news for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he took the full brunt of that kick.
And I'm sure Lilja more than happy to hand over the gloves.
Yes.
In a tie contest, the season opener against the defending champions.
And Volker definitely wants to be there. Was not happy he had to come out.
Well, and it would have seemed odd that he was not allowed to return at all.
Right.
I've never heard that in any sport, that if you are, injured, that it's a ref's discretion as to whether you can come back into that contest. Under 1 minute. Another Anoka throw in. Cruckton able to get it a little further away. On kick down to the Cardinal end, and Volker will run over and scoop it up. Under 10 seconds remaining now in regulation.
That'll do it.
And the buzzer will sound. We'll take a break. We've got extra boys soccer in the conference season opener. The Cardinals and the Tornadoes tied at 0. Going to overtime. You're watching boys high school soccer on CTN.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Extra DWI enforcement is now being served on Minnesota roads. Don't be what you drink. Extra DWI enforcement is now being served on Minnesota roads. Don't be what you drink.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Back at the Cardinals Sports Complex, end of regulation between the Tornadoes and the Cardinals. No score.
And Joe, and I think that the Cardinals and head coach Jason Jacob have to feel pretty happy where they are at this point to go with against Anoka, a team that will be rated 8th or 9th in the state, that have 3-0 and they're played to a 0-0 score through 2 halves of soccer. So they're going to go into that extra period and see if they can catch a break.
Well, it is 2 5-minute overtime periods. They will switch ends midway or after 1, I guess. So an extra 10 minutes. If there is still no score, it will be a tie in the books.
Well, we'll see what the game plan for both teams are. And I think that Coach Hayes may be a little disappointed that his team hasn't put a goal in at this point, but nonetheless, you can't let your guard down. You have to play tough no matter who you're playing in this conference. And on the Coon Rapids side, give them a lot of credit. They've been playing well, playing very good defense, and they're just looking for that one break.
Yeah, and while a scoreless tie would be a moral victory, I think, for the Cardinals.
Yep.
Because of how big an opponent this Tornado team is. You have to be a little concerned on the Cardinals sidelines that you haven't scored in the last 6 halves and only 1 goal through 4 games.
It's got to be a huge concern for Coach Jacob and his staff, this team not being able to score. Only 1 goal all season long. So that's got to be a little disconcerting for this team, and the fact that it gives them a little confidence playing with Anoka. Now you just have to figure it out offensively.
Anoka will start with the ball. We'll stay in the same direction we were in the second half. And I would guess, Coach Pete Hayes talked at the half about his team needing to be a little more aggressive on offense. And I'm sure that was mentioned again at the end of regulation. But I did notice Coach Hayes and his staff sitting back on the bench and letting the starters all huddle and talk to themselves just before this overtime started.
Well, I think a team with this kind of confidence in Anoka, knowing they have a good squad, I think they need to figure it out within themselves, because they know that they probably haven't played their best game.
On the flip side, the Cardinals really have not given them a lot of opportunities, playing really well on the defensive end. Gavick working it ahead to Akaba in the left corner. Tried to send it in, but off the body of Heltemus and out of bounds. Akaba the throw, and it went off an Anoka foot right in on Iverson. He scoops it up. Wonder what the Tornadoes have for a kicker on their football squad, because that kid's got a boot.
Yes, he does have a boot.
Tried a little give and go back to Rodriguez, but broken up. Sent back out near midfield. Rodriguez getting it back now. Trying to work his way through a couple of defenders. Sets Gavick up on the near side. Back out front. Booted away by Meshuga. And here's Oyu. Shaber quickly catching up. Not letting him find any space. A little give and go. Cruckton there to help out. And now Talixon clears it back to the Anoka end. Anoka, and that's why Coon Rapids really hasn't had many looks, is Anoka keeping 3 players back to watch the 2 Cardinal forwards at all times.
Well, at this point they feel that they don't want to give up a loss here at this point, so they're putting an extra defender back to protect against that fact. But then it does leave them one player short up top.
McElmurray tied up by Rodriguez, who comes away with the ball, gets it to Hikaba. We got both officials waving flags because
Jesse Gavick
is down on the field.
He's having a difficult time getting up. Senior captain Jesse Gavick. It's that right foot. Walking very gingerly. And they can ill afford to lose him. Yeah, he's. We'll see if we can find out what happened. Yellow card out of Anoka. I think he twisted the ankle. Clock stopped at 1:49.
In this first overtime.
Yeah, in the first overtime, correct.
We will play 2.
Yes, we will. Well, you and I won't play, but everybody out there will play.
Thankfully.
Yeah, yeah, thankfully is right. I'm not sure I could make it 1 overtime period.
What's going on?
A lot of confusion,
Yeah.
it seems, as to.
Well, they called the yellow card, and I heard some of the Anoka fans saying it was Anoka's ball.
Well,
Anoka
and if it was stopped purely for the injury, then it should be.
It should
Anoka's
be,
ball.
correct.
But since there was a yellow card as well, then the Cardinals get the free kick, which is the case we have here. But many of the Anoka fans. Whoa, come on. Okay.
They did. They called it.
I was gonna say because that was. I don't know if Donovan Gross is a hockey player, but finishes his check right there. Kept his arm in a little bit.
Tried to hide it a little bit. That he gave the check.
Yeah, and he used the arm, pushed off a little bit. It was a solid check. Wouldn't have got called for that on the ice.
No.
Another Cardinal free kick. Hikaba sending it in. It bounces behind everyone and just goes wide. Wow.
Yeah, that would have been an incredible opportunity for Coon Rapids. We'll see it again.
Well, everybody converged on the ball,
yep,
and everyone missed. If
yep.
there were a white jersey, if Pagor were able to get behind there, but not so much.
Nope.
Right back out of bounds. We're under 30 seconds remaining in the first overtime.
Anoka not in a hurry to get this ball in.
You would think they would be down deep in the Cardinal end. Wells will clear it back out, and that should just about do it for the first overtime. We'll take another short break and be back with overtime period number 2 right after this. You're watching Boys Soccer on CTN.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, we've played 80 minutes of regulation, 5 minutes of overtime, 5 more coming up here in this Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Soccer season opener. Or conference opener, I guess, is the case.
Yeah, it's a conference opener for Coon Rapids, but not for Anoka. Anoka played Andover earlier.
Talixon can't keep it away from Moyu. Wells, nice stop on the pass intended for Doral. Freese getting it back to midfield. Hikaba chipping it to Rodriguez. Tied up with Panuski. Long boot to the far side corner, out of bounds. I guess it'll be offside first. Gross tripped up. And Anoka will have a free kick from a dangerous spot.
as a big opportunity for the Tornadoes and one defensively for Coon Rapids.
Three-man wall for the Cardinals.
A lot of time coming off this clock. Good job.
Blocked by Cruckton. Booted ahead. And Lopez behind the defense. And really, I think he was offside, but that's going to go out the end line and be a corner kick for Coon Rapids.
That was a break for Cardinals because I think he was maybe offsides, but nonetheless, a corner kick for Coon Rapids, an opportunity.
There's no question he was offside, but I get confused. There's no blue line.
Let's see if we can get one to paint one in the field just for you, just so you don't get confused.
I can't guarantee that we keep that from happening. Hekaba will take the corner kick for the Cardinals, their first one of the night. Good job by Iverson to come out and grab it. Midway through overtime period number 2.
Well, if this does end in a tie, 6 ties last year for the Tornadoes. They were 12-2-6 last season.
You know what I always say about ties?
You have to wear them on sports night?
That's
one thing. Yeah.
But not what I had in mind.
Oh, okay.
It's like kissing your sister.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Another Coon Rapids foul. 2 quick ones.
Oh, and Pagar hurt as well for Coon Rapids. He's down on the turf.
Back up here, please, guys.
Well, you know, we are on a few social media sites. Twitter is one of those. So if you want to follow us on that, certainly do so. We'd love to have you.
Tweet.
We'll send out a tweet. You can send us a tweet. It'll be a real tweet for all.
Har. Har. Pagor, I don't know if he was just cramping up. It looked like they were kind of stretching out that calf. But he's able to walk off under his own power. And now the free kick for the Tornadoes. A good one to the back corner, out front. Header, and what a save by Volker right there.
Wow.
And he's on top of the ball. Volker wants a card because Anoka kept coming in after he had covered the ball. But it was a good boot, headed back out front. And then Oyu gets a nice header on it. Coming in right there, and Volker makes a great save. And then covers it up, and you see still falling on top of him is Eamon Aldrich.
Under a minute. Followed the Cardinals.
The 21st unofficially.
Of course.
Under 30 seconds to play. Played along the near sidelines to Aldrich. Trying to cross, stopped up by Rodriguez, cleared away by Cruckchin. Lopez trying to push it ahead. Hekaba fell down, still able to control it, gets it back. Here's a chance for Lopez. Shoots and scores, and the Cardinals are going to win this one. He gets it 10 seconds left. And what an adjustment by Hakaba. He plays it into space. Lopez just chips it over Iverson, who was out of position. And in the 89th minute, the Cardinals score, and they are going to skate out of this one as 1-0 victors.
You talk about a goal right at the last seconds. Just a great job by Lopez. He's going to loft it up over Iverson, as you mentioned, out of position. Coon Rapids is going to take this lead with 7.2 seconds remaining on this clock. And Lopez is the hero of this game. Just a great job of chipping it up and over Iverson. Found that far corner. And unless something miraculous happens, Coon Rapids is going to get their first win.
They are going to get their first victory by handing the Tornadoes their first loss in double overtime, deep in double overtime, just 70 seconds left, or 7.2 seconds left in the contest.
Alex Lopez is the hero for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. And talk about that also, you got to remember that save by Volker.
I was going to say Ryan Volker a star too, because he made that point-blank save on the header by Oyu in that double overtime period as well.
Well, you know, you let the Tornadoes had some pressure on, but give credit to that defense for Coon Rapids. They let Coon Rapids hang around the entire game and through 2 overtime periods. And with just 7.2 seconds remaining, Coon Rapids scores that big elusive goal, the only goal of this game, and they're going to get the victory, Joe Yund.
And a gigantic victory it is, knocking off the defending conference and section champions in the final seconds of double overtime. What a way to get the first win of the year for Jason Jacob and his Coon Rapids Cardinals. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us to continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howard Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.